Get out of bed early. I get up every day at 5 a.m. I would get up no later than 6. An early start is going to help you win the day. I think the best lead source when agents are first starting in this business is open houses. You should be doing open houses 2, 3, 4 times a week. It's an opportunity to put out your signs, get some name recognition, meet people, actually be in a place where somebody might actually buy something. So open houses would be my number one choice for lead generation. Agents should stop doing immediately one thing, wasting time. You have no time to waste in this business. You have to be accountable for every minute of every day. To get a business going from the ground, you have to work hard and you can't waste time. Number one error agents make is wasting time. That's a great question. What's more important, scripts or mindset? I would say they're both important. And one of the things I might say is having a great mindset around scripts. Scripts are great, but I hear so many agents tell me, I don't want to sound canned. I want to be natural. Well, I say this, get your mindset that you're going to practice your scripts so often and so hard that when it comes time, they're not going to sound like scripts. In fact, you're going to sound like an A-lister. They all work from scripts. Maybe try them one more time, and if they don't respond, ghost them back. Open houses are a must for top agents and for new agents because it's one of the most visible ways to get your brand out there, get your name out there, to be visible, to meet people, to be a part of the community. Open houses are like unbelievable because it's only in our industry that we can actually do them. Can you imagine if Ralph Lauren or Abercrombie & Fitch could just open stores wherever they wanted to for free? Do you think they would miss that opportunity? You shouldn't either. Okay, so we're talking about scaling your business, if I understand this question correctly. And the only way to scale your business is by doing a few things. Number one is putting good systems and procedures in place around everything you do so that you don't have to reinvent it every single time. You want it to be wash, rinse, and repeat. And you want to make sure the service levels stay high for every single transaction. So make sure you have great systems and procedures. Number two, you need to delegate. You can't do this business all by yourself. It would be like a restaurant owner greeting you at the door, then running over quickly to the hostess stand to see if they have a seat for you, and then walking to your seat, and then running to the kitchen to go get you some water, and then running back to the kitchen to take your order. It would be impossible to scale in that situation. So you need someone to man the desk, you need someone to serve the water, you need someone to serve the food, you need someone to cook the food, you need someone to run the restaurant, and that is you. So run your business, have people to help you do the admin, the marketing, and all those things, and you should be walking around that restaurant, greeting customers, talking to them, checking in with them, seeing how their meals are going, and you know what I mean. Just apply that to real estate. Yeah, so the two top scaling priorities in my mind are systems and procedures, putting them in place, having structure, having clear, have a policy manual. You should be able to bring anybody in and they should know how to run your business just by reading your policy manual. And number two is delegating, having support staff, having people that are going to do your marketing, your admin, so that you can get out and do what you do best, which is list, sell, negotiate. Why are you selling? And the second best question to ask is, where are you going? Those two questions right there will give you so much information. I have thousands of books in my library, but the one book that always pops in my mind, no matter what, is the Napoleon Hill book, which is Think and Grow Rich. That book changed my life. I can't explain why, but there was one chapter that talked about burning the bridge behind you. And when I burnt that bridge behind me and I knew I could only go forward, that's when my real estate career took off. The one trait that separates top producers from everybody else, in my opinion, is work ethic. And I just hear it over and over again. And that's the biggest complaint they have when they have team members on their team. They always complain to me that their team members don't work. They don't work at the same pace they do. They don't work with the same intensity. The other thing is top producers also work on their business as much as in their business. They're constantly looking at their business as a business and trying to figure out how to make it grow, how to make it more consistent, how to keep the service levels high, how to move into new price points, higher price points, new neighborhoods, grow, expand. They're thinking about it like a business, how to cut costs yet still maintain great service, how to get their margins up. Running it like a business is the key. And so many agents, and this is the sad thing, they just go from deal to deal, transaction to transaction. They have long gaps between deals. They don't have a plan. They don't have procedure. They don't have structure. And so they live this kind of life of always being in want, always being a little bit behind, never really catching up, getting ahead. If you think about your business like a business, you think that you create a pipeline mentality where you're just constantly filling the pipeline with new leads. You have structure around lead generation. You're doing open houses, you're prospecting every day, and you never take your foot off the gas. Plus, thinking about it like, what's my brand represent? Who am I in the industry? Why do they need me instead of another realtor? And you're constantly working on the business as much as in the business. that's when it takes off. I don't know how else to answer that question. It's doing it when you don't want to do it. That's why I like discipline over motivation. There's so many days I'm not motivated, but I'll tell you one thing, I do it anyways. I get up anyways. I work out anyways. I show up for work anyways. I'm in the office. I work hard, late. I'm constantly doing it because I know consistency brings results, persistence, patience, hard work. These things everybody's looking for the quick hack. Go out there and hack all you want, but you're not going to get anywhere. You're just going to bounce from leaf to leaf like some frog. Get in there, work hard, be steady, and you'll watch the success come to you. If you're not using a calendar, forget it. And I like to look at my calendar every night the day before so that I can kind of think through my day. Sometimes I'll make some adjustments and changes. Sometimes I will add things to it, but just to make sure you know what you're going to do each day, and then try to stick to it. Don't let the day get away from you. I have this habit myself of always thinking I got to respond to everyone and everything rapid fire, and I do that to a fault sometimes. And I often make mistakes because I'm moving so fast. But if I do what I intend to do, if I look at my list of things to do and I go through them and I get those done first, then I've won the day. Then I can start handling everybody else's situations and their concerns. Because what people are doing basically is taking their needs and their concerns and they're tossing them on you so they can move on to their things. It's a little bit of a tug of war and a battle, and we have to do both because we have to service the clients, but then we have objectives that we have to achieve as well. And this is true for all businesses and all people. This is not just real estate. So I like to think of it as get your stuff done first and then focus on everyone else. My opinion on agents joining teams varies. I think it's really important that the team leader and the junior team member make sure they're in alignment on each other's goals, like what the junior member is expecting and what the team leader is expecting. Make sure you're in alignment. Make sure you understand what you're looking for from each other. So many times it's a little misguided. Sometimes team leaders are looking for junior agents to bring them business, and I think sometimes junior agents are looking for team members to give them business to work on. So know what you're getting into and make sure you have really good, honest conversations with each other before you just join a team. But I think overall, if you have a team leader that is a really good mentor and will take you out on appointments, take you out on presentations, let you be around them so you can hear what they're saying to clients and how they operate every single day, I think that's extremely invaluable and really important. I got to do that with my dad and brother. I could sit in the office with them and hear how they were talking to clients, and they would actually take me with them on appointments, and I could sit with them and watch how they interacted and what they said. And then when I was in those same situations, those words they used, those strategies they used would come to me, and I would be able to use them as well. So having a mentor, having a team leader, I think is really, really important. But again, make sure you have a really honest heart-to-heart interview with that team leader. Make sure they have the time for you. Make sure they have structure to mentor and train agents. Make sure that that's where their heart is, because not every team leader's heart is into really wrapping their arms around their team members. A lot of times it's just expectation that those team members produce. So just know what you're getting into, and if that's the environment you want, that can work too. One thing that's really great about working with a team is you can leverage that team brand to help you secure listings and buyers. If I go out and say, hey, I'm Peter Hernandez and I'm on the, so-and-so team, that immediately gives me credibility. So when I'm out there as a new agent, I'm on a team that already has established itself. It gets me in the door and it gets me the appointment, where if I was doing it on my own, they'd probably say, no, thank you. So for those reasons, I think teams are really important. The current market's going to weed out a lot of new agents and a lot of experienced agents too, because they aren't willing to do what it takes to be successful in this business. And most of that centers around prospecting and talking to people every single day. Having the courage to knock doors, call expireds, cold call, to strike up conversations at Starbucks, to host dinner parties, to call your sphere and all your friends and let them know you're in the real estate business and how can you help them. If you don't have that mentality, if you don't have that kind of an attitude where you're not afraid to put yourself out there, you're not going to make it. You have to put yourself out there. So that's the number one thing. The reason a lot of experienced agents are going to struggle right now is because the past markets, there was just so much business coming to them. They thought they had graduated past all of this prospecting and getting out there and doing open houses and door knocking and calling people and working through their sphere. So it's very humbling for these agents that didn't have to do that because the business was so strong to now go back to that and have to do that. That's the issue. it's humbling, and they think they've graduated from it, that they don't have to do that anymore. So they sit around and the business isn't coming to them. That's why we always say that you should always be prospecting, always looking for new business, and always filling that pipeline. I don't care what level agent you're at. When I look at the great agents that work at Element and other brokerages, they never stop prospecting. I think you have to follow up with leads very consistently and always end the conversation with the next step so that you have something to call them back. But if there is no next step, you can always do a market report or tell them about a new listing that's come on the market or a new sale that's just occurred. Everyone loves to hear about that. People also like to hear about deals. Like, I could call anybody up and say, I just saw a great property, can I tell you about it? Very few people are going to say no. They may not be interested in it, but it piques their interest. And what happens from that is they may be interested in it, or they may know somebody that could be interested in it. So it's great to have great properties to talk about and great sales to talk about. So it kind of goes back to that thing I always drum on, which is know the inventory, know it better than anybody else. And that always opens up great conversations. Agents burn out because they don't take care of themselves. I don't know what that is. I don't know why people can't work out every day regularly. I don't know why people dive into the donuts. I don't know why people sacrifice sleep. I don't know why people don't have some boundaries when they turn off their phones. I think it's almost like an obsessive compulsion. It's crazy. You have to take care of yourself just like you take care of your car, just like you take care of your home, just like you take care of your children. You have to take care of yourself too, because this is all you have, and health is our only true wealth. So if you're not operating at the highest levels, you're just not going to be that successful. I don't know why that time's any different than any other time, except I love the sunsets. I think the sunsets in the fall are the most beautiful in the world, especially here in California. I don't know what it is, but they are absolutely beautiful. And they call it magic hour. And when the sun is just starting to set, so maybe do videos during the fall using magic hour. It makes you look really good, trust me. I don't know. I'm not that, I don't feel awkward about that actually. I would just say, hey, you know anybody buying or selling, or know anybody thinking about it? I mean, I don't know. Is that so offensive? I don't think it is. I used to think, and I think most realtors think they're great negotiators, and I think we have to be and sort of intuitively know how to negotiate, but it really isn't enough. And there are so many great books, schools, ways to learn. Like, two of my very favorite ways to learn about negotiation is, number one, Pepperdine University's Strauss Institute. I mean, if you want to learn to negotiate, go there. I mean, that is like at the top of the pinnacle. The only school that rivals it is Harvard, and they go back and forth for the number one position. That is a wonderful, wonderful, and there's probably some night classes you could take. Excellent, excellent class. The other great teacher in negotiation is Chris Voss. He's amazing. You know, he was a negotiator for terrorists and hostages and those kinds of things, and nobody knows how to negotiate better than this guy. So he does classes. He's also on the master class if you're part of that podcast. So there's tons and tons of ways to learn about negotiating, but don't just stop at you think you're already a good one. I think the secret to being a great negotiator is to keep studying and learn how to be better. I don't like to think of it as firing a client. You know, no one likes to be fired. I hate being fired as an agent. Nobody likes to be fired. Nobody likes to be fired as an employee. It's not a good feeling. But I do think that there's a time where maybe you need to part ways, where, you know, it's just toxic. It becomes toxic. The trust is gone. Either you don't trust them or they don't trust you. Maybe you feel compromised in certain ways. To try to fix that or solve that sometimes isn't worth it. Sometimes it's not possible. And it's best to save the relationship and to save space in your day and your time and your mind to just say, hey, maybe this isn't working. Maybe it's best if you find another realtor. I totally understand. Something like that, and move on. So maybe not think of it as firing them so much, but I'll tell you this, if they are occupying your mind and you're losing sleep over somebody and it's just stressful and not fun, well, it doesn't have to be fun. Like, we have a lot of difficult clients, and that's okay. We love difficult, but not toxic. If they're toxic and it's just really, really disrupting your life, then you got to move on. I don't know if there's any outdated tactics, but I do think that sometimes agents don't iterate or update. Like, you know, we used to use, 4x6 cards as our CRM. Now there's some really good CRM programs. You know, we used to have written calendars. You know, now you can calendar your phone, it syncs with your laptop, you get reminders, alerts. I mean, AI, we used to have to write all of our own copy. Now you can actually give it prompts, tell AI exactly what you want, and it'll help you write your copy. So I think it's more about adapting and staying relevant with technology. When I think about the business, I haven't seen that much change in the activities. It's just upgraded a lot, social media marketing. And yet some of this old stuff is still very, very valuable. Like, I see a lot of value in print advertising in the right publications. I see, if not only just to satisfy your seller, that's a major part of your business, is making your clients happy. So if that makes them happy, that's great. I also see terrific targeted, geofencing type ads. I see, great social media, great video work. So I think that staying current and staying on top of the latest methodologies of the old style of business, because it really hasn't changed. It's really marketing, selling, being in relationships, meeting people, and all those things aren't changing. It's just there's ways to become more efficient. And I think efficiency probably is going to be the key there. My final advice for any agents watching this is just don't give up. Never give up. If you're working hard and you're kind of vibing with what I'm talking about in this podcast, and you're kind of getting the amount of effort that it takes, and you understand the commitment it takes to be in this business, and you're going to do this no matter what, even if you're in a long slump, don't give up. Don't quit before the miracle. I always love to say that. Don't quit before the miracle, because once it happens, I was talking to an agent in our office just yesterday, and she's actually doing really, really, really well. But she told me she's in a little bit of a dry spot right now. But she told me everything she was doing and how hard she was working. And I knew she was putting in solid 8-10 hour days of work, just not getting results. And I said to her, it's gonna come. And you better be ready, because it's gonna come like a tsunami. You're gonna have a ton of business really soon. And so don't quit before the miracle. If you're putting in the effort and you're doing all the right things and you're vibing with this whole podcast conversation, then absolutely hang in there, no matter what. If you got to leverage your house, do it, because you're going to make it. So that's 21 questions, part 2. I hope you found it interesting. If so, please subscribe to my channel. Make comments below. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'll get back to you. Happy selling.